It's been a while. I think probably since August, since I've seen y'all. So it's great to see you again. It's been a good season. We had a great non-conference schedule. A couple big wins in there over Texas and Baylor and Denver. So we set ourselves up in a tight loss to the defending national champions Florida State in overtime on the road. So we prepared ourselves for the Pac-12. Pac-12 this year, for those of you that don't follow it real close, is the number one RPI league by far. It's not even close. Think SEC football if you took out the bottom 4 or 5 teams from SEC football and just put them all in one conference. It's a brutal league. All but one team in the top 50 RPI. So got off to a little bit of a rocky start. We had a nice win against Arizona on the road. Dropped some points at home to the Oregon schools that maybe, but once again, they're very good teams. Went to Southern California and had a couple tough results, but then bounced back on Saturday with a win over Arizona State. Excuse me. So it gets a lot easier this week. We have number 2 ranked Stanford coming in, and then we have Cal coming in that's already beat USC and UCLA. So it's the Pac-12 this year, so we're excited about where we're at, but we've won some games and put ourselves in a good position to make a run in the NCAA tournament. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about anything.
Looking at this Stanford team, Katarina Macario, she's kind of like their Taylor Korniak in a way in that she produces most of their goals. Do you think having coached a team that is a little bit top-heavy with somebody like Taylor gives you some insight into how to stop a team like Stanford?
Well, imagine, excuse me, edit that out, Eric. Imagine back in club when Katarina and Taylor were on the same club team. So you can imagine how that looked going forward. They were teammates for San Diego Surf for a while. You'd like to think so. I think Katarina is special. She'll win her 2nd or 3rd Hermann Trophy this year, so think Heisman Trophy. She won as a sophomore. Should have won it as a freshman, didn't. Will win it again this year. The challenge with Stanford is they have 7 or 8 or 15 other pieces that aren't much behind her. So, she's special. We'll come up with a game plan and see what happens. But coming to Boulder, coming to altitude, hopefully some weather. I don't like how the weather's turning to the good, but hopefully having some weather and we'll make it difficult for them. But players like Taylor and Katarina are 2 of the top players in the country. So fortunately, we have one of them. So we're going to have to deal with her on Thursday for sure. Yeah, those of you that haven't seen her play, it's pretty special.
Danny, last 2 home games this weekend. I know they're not the only seniors on the team, but having JJ and Taylor going out for their final home games, what have they meant to the program, and how have they maybe made your job just a little bit easier the last 4 years, just being able to pencil them in every game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked a lot about them. The fact that Taylor has already broken the all-time scoring record as a midfielder at the University of Colorado. So I think the conversation of all-time great Buffs field players probably starts and ends with her and Nikki Marshall at the top. That's no disrespect to Amy Barzik and Fran Munley and a lot of other players that Michelle Wineno. But she'll be sorely missed. But we're going to enjoy the last few games with her. And I think JJ is once again, no disrespect to the other goalkeepers we've had, but the greatest goalkeeper in the history of Colorado soccer. Not just because of the saves record, but from what she brings from a leadership side, 3-year captain, and everything else she does. So. It's going to be, I think, the senior day before the game, if you get there early, they'll be crying, the parents will be crying, and then me, Jason, and Dave will be crying even more. Hopefully we'll make a run here and have another game or 2 in the NCAA tournament we can host. But we have a lot of work to do before we get there. But they're super special young women, great ambassadors for the department, and the type of players that we need and more of them if we're really going to kind of continue to build our program to where we want to get it to. Any other questions? Oh.
Danny, you've dealt with a couple injuries this year. Talk about maybe how you guys have dealt with that and maybe how they'll come back going forward.
It's interesting when you talk, we always hear when coaches talk about how young they are, how injured they are. I don't know that anybody's buying that or feeling sorry for anybody. Everybody in the country deals with it. But it's given some of our other players an opportunity to step into bigger roles and have bigger moments for us. Allie Plange started the last couple of games, and she was a player we were going to redshirt. 10, 11 games in the season, but we had to decide to play her, and she's done well. Cheney Kingsbury, who had a small role, but now with some of her injuries in the attack, she was a forward in high school, so we're throwing her back up there, and she's done a good job. Camilla Shimka, who played 88 total minutes last year, the whole season, has basically started 75% of the game and plays the majority of the game. So it's given an opportunity to some of these other players. We sell in recruiting that we don't carry a big roster like a lot of our opponents. So everyone's going to get a shot. On Thursday, there's going to be a player that hasn't started all year that's going to get a start. So and Stanford might be watching, so I won't give that information away. But yeah, it is what it is, and we have good players, and the other players have stayed positive and worked hard. It's a very enjoyable group to work with, and we're excited for the weekend for sure. Great. Thanks, everybody.